Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to this workshop of Unplug to Reconnect Within. That is mindfulness in digital age. So, I'm really glad that you all are here today. So, before we begin, I want you to notice something very gently. Most of us walked into today's session holding our phones or keeping them nearby. So that's not wrong. It's simply that reality we live in. Okay. So this workshop is not about demonizing technology or forcing ourselves to quit social media. We live in a digital world and technology supports our work, learning, and connection. So, but today we are exploring one important question is who is in the control, me or my screen. So, this hour is an invitation to slow down, to understand what really happening inside your minds, and to reconnect with ourselves. So, without this is without judgment, guilt, or any pressure. I'm not standing here as someone who has it all figured out. I am here as someone who understands how hard this balance is because I live in the same digital world as you are. So let's begin. Firstly, by just a second. So
Okay.
just
Good
just
afternoon.
yeah. So let me.
Yeah, Kushi, you can
Hello,
go ahead.
I'm Kushina. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So, hello, my name is Kushi Nahar. I am a junior psychologist at MindTribe, and today I will be the host. And I work with individuals across young adults and adults, supporting them with concerns like anxiety, stress, emotional regulation, and self understanding. My approach is empathetic, collaborative, and focused on helping people build practical coping skills for everyday life. Now, I would like to pass on to Rajeshwari as she is the co-host for today to introduce herself. So, Rajeshwari.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and I welcome you all for today's workshop. I'm Rajeshwari Jaju, and I'm junior psychologist working at MindTribe from quite a few months. And I work with young adults here. And yeah, that's it. We have few ground rules for this workshop today. I'll go through that quickly. Okay, so let's create a safe space for everyone to share. Everything here will be like confidential. We will respect each other's unique journey, listen with intention, and present for others. Feel free to pass if you're not ready to speak. And very important, keep your mics and camera off until and unless you want to like speak. You can like raise your hands and like speak here. And today's session will be disclaimer will be given by Khushi. Thank you.
Okay. Disclaimer is that recording, transcribing, or capturing any part of this this session is strictly prohibited. This includes the use of transcription tools, screen recording, screenshot, or any other form of documentation. The content shared in this session is intellectual property of MindTribe. Unauthorized recording, reproduction, and description is not allowed. So please note that violation of any of this policy may result in removal from the session to protect the confidentiality of the group. So now we move on. I want everyone to just read this sentence. That is, we live in a world where 5 minutes of just scrolling can quietly turn into hours stolen from our future. So when we read this quote, just notice what comes up in the mind. Most of us don't consciously decide to waste time. It's usually begins with just checking while waiting for a reply, before sleeping, after a long or stressful day. So scrolling doesn't enter loudly, it sleeps in quietly, and suddenly in a flash the time is gone. So this workshop isn't about fear or guilt, it's about awareness, and awareness gives us choice. So now we move on. Um what we're gonna discuss in today's workshop is how this digital hijack happens, understanding the hook, action strategies, and future focus. So now I want everyone to raise your hand or type in the chat box about how much time you spend scrolling each day. You can unmute yourself and speak. Sarah says 2 to 3 hours, 5 to 6 hours. Okay, 3 hours, 2 hours. Okay. So this scrolling is apart from your usual work you have on phone or something. Really, it's completely okay, nothing to be ashamed of, because this is a session where we share and support each other. Tanushka Tiwari says that I was scrolling right now. So, yeah, that's what we are going to discuss today. It's completely okay, Riddhi. You can share yours. There's no one going to judge you. Sleeping because I'm suffering from severe OCD and depression since 4 months of job hunting. I can really understand that. Thank you so much for sharing. I know it's difficult to share, but still, it's brave of you to share. 14 to 16 hours. That's completely fine. There is no right or wrong answers. So, yeah, moving on. So, what could you have done with this time instead? Anyone has the answer? The time you spend scrolling, what you could have done with that time? Studies, right? When we say study, self development activities, reading books, engaging in productive work, decutting selves, okay, wardrobe, upgrading skills, physical activity. See, you have so many things to do instead of scrolling. So this was question just to bring yourself to an awareness that what you have been uh, doing instead of your important work or studies, and this all stuffs are getting ignored by scrolling. So we will look up to it in detail in the forward of this workshop. So thank you everyone for sharing. Now we move on. Okay, so attention hijack, how it really works. Okay, so many people have mentioned that they scroll YouTube videos or Instagram or some other. Um, yeah, Riddhi also let me to a chronic procrastinator in a loop of constant guilt and regret. Absolutely, that's what we are gonna talk in today's workshop. So let's move forward. So this is to understand scrolling. Imagine eating snacks from a packet that never ends. You never feel full, right? You just keep out reaching to them. So social media works on something called variable reward. Every scroll might give something interesting, validating, shocking, or entertaining, or sometimes nothing at all. Because the brain doesn't know what's coming up next, it keeps on scrolling. And then comes the AI curated content. So, this AI curated content is the more you pause on certain posts, the more similar content you are shown. So, many times you have seen that if you click on certain items, such as if there is an ad of a nice handbag, if you click on that handbag and then you decide not to buy it, but suddenly in the next few seconds you will see that handbag literally coming each and every time you scroll on any of the other platform, if it's gonna Instagram, YouTube, or just anywhere, it will just pop up. So this is how AI curated content is designed. The system learns your emotional triggers faster than you realize. So, endless scrolling removes natural stopping cues. There's no final page and no closing signal. So, this brain does not get the signal when to stop, and this results in not getting a proper rest. So, slot machine effect is that when we just just a second. Okay, so it's like a slot machine effect. We don't know what we are gonna get, like a slot machine, which we have in the gaming zones, right? We don't know which toy is gonna come into our hand, right? It's just we try our luck, and whatever we get is we accept it. So that's slot machine effect. Okay, so now we come to the digital trap. So this is something I really want everyone to emphasize, that struggling with scrolling does not mean that you lack discipline or self control. Okay, so it means you are human with a brain designed to seek novelty and relief. Entire teams of experts and are hired to design the apps to maximize the time you spend on the screen. So the solution isn't willpower or self blame, that I'm not having control enough to stop myself, or I don't have much of the willpower. The solution is the proper strategy you have to apply and getting the awareness how it's happening. So we don't fight this design with guilt, we fight the design with maintaining few boundaries. Okay, so moving on to the psychology of AI impact and mental health. So, social validation, earlier self worth was built through effort, relationships, and personal growth. Today, it quietly gets measured through likes, views, and responses. So, there is a social validation seeking. Uh, we can say it as there is a loop of self worth from external people. Then, even when we logically know social media is curated, emotionally it still affects us. So, for example, you post something, someone else also posts something, and they get more engagement than you. So you don't think that I am a failure at that time, but you feel a slight heaviness, like you are behind, or you might also have this feeling of comparison, fatigue, external validation, fear of missing out, and this all leads to loss of internal self-worth and constant level of anxiety, self-doubt, dependency. So this all happens when you scroll. So now, coming to the flow state exploitation, I will explain you what it is. So, for an example, you open an app for one message, you close it 30 minutes later, and you barely remember what you have watched. So, that's not the rest. You are not getting any rest from this time scrolling. Uh, is This is called as dissociation. You are just diverting your mind. Your mind is stimulated, but you are not present in that moment. When you stop scrolling, you have noticed that you are feeling more tired, restless, or empty, because your nervous system never actually rested in that particular time, right? So if I'm right, you can give me a thumbs up if you think this happens with you. Okay, see. Thank you all for responding. So now, now we are moving on to the hidden cost of doom scrolling. Now I want everyone to notice these things, uh, and like notice whatever I'm gonna say in the next slides. So first, uh, career goals. So, as many people have mentioned that in the first question, when I asked that what you could have done with the time spent on scrolling, many people said study or upgraded themselves, right? So, here I will share a story with you all, a short story. So there was a person who plans to work on their goals every evening, just for 30 minutes. They sit down, feel slightly overwhelmed, and open their phone for just 5 minutes. And that just 5 minutes turns into 45 minutes. And without them knowing that they have spent 45 minutes, they sleep late, wake up tired, and then feel behind. So over months, the confidence level in them, it drops, not because they are incapable, but because their attention was constantly fragmented. That they have to do this, they scroll, and sometimes it leads to procrastination. And this is how the goals fade, and not through failure, but through distraction. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So now we move on to mental health. So many people have noticed that scrolling exposes us to constant perfectionism, that other people have better bodies, careers, relationship, and we constantly compare ourselves to that perfectionism. So you might not compare consciously, but emotionally, your life starts feeling smaller or slower. That constant not enough feeling creates chronic dissatisfaction and anxiety within us. So, and also, doom scrolling affects our relationships and connections as well. So, when we are half present in a conversation, people sense it. Even without conflict, emotional safety reduces. over time people stop sharing deeply. There are less quality time spent, and this is not because they don't care, but because attention feels divided. Tell me, who wants someone who is not giving them attention undivided? When you're talking and sharing your thoughts, you want the person to listen to you without any divided attention. But when uh, certain people does that, they are on the phone and they pretend to listen to you, you stop sharing your thoughts. And that's how doom scrolling or unconscious scrolling affects relationship and connections. So now we move on to uh, physical health. So this late night scrolling, the blue light which we get from the phones, suppresses the melatonin that affects the sleep quality. So phones close to the body keep the brain alert. So the rest of the body becomes shallow, and you may sleep, but you don't recover. So when you wake up in the morning, you feel very restless, and might want to sleep more. And this also leads to fatigue and increased dependence on scrolling. So also replacing movements with active breaks. So many a time when we study or take a small break in between, we don't usually get up from the seat and go for a small walk or do some activity. Instead we just use our phone, scroll through Instagram or YouTube or any other website, and spend that short break what we have. So this leads to hunched back and backache, uh, which we are getting. So now we move on to a small question. Now I want everyone to answer me this. Which of these areas have been affected by the scrolling habits? You can just text or raise your hand and speak up. Which areas have been affected most? Okay. So Kanvi says physical sleep. Rajita says mindfulness. Minakshi says physical. Says I lost my discipline. Okay. So Dipali Gupta mix of. Sara says mental health mostly because we keep ruminating on the same content. That's right. Payal Sahu says time. Abhinav says sleep and mental health. Ajit Kumar says encouragement. Okay, I lost my internet and studies. Okay, so this was the question. I feel that okay, trust in studies. Okay, that's thank you everyone for sharing. And I just wanted to mention that this question I asked you because many times what happens is that we don't notice things happening around us because we are so much into the scrolling that we stop thinking about anything else as well. We do not notice um, how we are lacking confidence, yeah, emotional instability. So we do not notice it, and we when these things happen we blame ourselves. We don't blame you know that why is this happening. We are not ready to think about that stance. Instead we just blame ourselves that this is all because of me. I'm not disciplined enough, or I'm not in my control. So now I want everyone that one the since you have recognized uh, what areas or which areas have been affecting you, by scrolling. So let's get ready for the action strategies. Get motivated. This gives us the motivation to just change this habits, small, one step at a time. Okay. So now we move on to understand how this is happening. That for now, until now, we have discussed what things are being affected, and what is doom scrolling and all those stuff. But now we will look how this is actually happening, and why we are still going back when we know that we are losing interest in our studies, which is more important for us. But still, we won't choose to study, we will just choose scrolling instead. So there is a psychology behind it as well. There is a procrastination relief loop. Okay, so most people like scrolling is about entertainment or a habit, but psychologically, it often serves as an internal escape. So, I want you everyone to think about a moment when you had an important task to do, such as studying, replying to an email, making a decision, or having a difficult conversation. Before you really even realize it, your hand reaches out to phone. Does this happens to you or not? Give me a quick thumbs up. Okay. Yes. See, this is how it happens. So, what's happening here is very simple. The task feels hard, uncertain, or emotionally uncomfortable. Your brain looks for a fast relief. Scrolling offers an instant distraction without any effort. So, scrolling becomes a default buffer, something we use to avoid the discomfort even for a brief amount of time. And let me remind you that this isn't laziness, it's your nervous system saying, I don't want to feel this right now. It's just taking a step back from having to face a difficult situation. And for this, it's like, let's break, for now, it's just like break this loop down with the day to day example. Okay. Now imagine you're feeling stressed after a long day. Your body is feeling very tired. Your mind feels overloaded. You don't want to think anything anymore, like for any situation. So to avoid that thing, you open social media. Immediately there's a relief. You might have noticed that, right? So your brain releases dopamine, the chemical which is linked with reward and motivation. For a few moments, you feel lighter. But here's the important part, the relief doesn't last for long. So, this is how it happens. There is a hard task, there's a stress or avoidance behavior to that task, and you scroll for getting a short temporary relief. So, after scrolling, you might feel scattered. There's a guilt about wasting time. You feel even less motivated to return to the original task. So the brain learns something very quick, that scrolling is equal to fast relief. And we all know how much we love fast things. Uh, that's why we prefer scrolling. And the next time the stress shows up, the brain reaches to the same solution, right? So this is how procrastination relief loop gets wired, not because scrolling is good, but because it's easy, right? So Now we move on looking to the paradox of why we go back to the scrolling again and again when we know we have many other important stuff to do as well. So we scroll to feel better, but often feel worse after using it, right? So, why? The question is why? Because scrolling solves the discomfort temporarily, but it doesn't address the real need underneath. So, if the real need was rest, but scrolling overstimulates us. If the real need was connection, the scrolling gives shallow contact. And if this real need was achievement, the scrolling delays the progress. Instead of accelerating, it slows the process. So once the distraction ends, the original problem is still there, often louder, right? So this is why many people describe feeling restless, agitated, or empty after long scrolling sessions. The urge of seeking beats the desire of satisfaction. So now we move on to a small reflection activity. So I want you to answer this question. What goal did I delay this week by choosing to scroll? Any simple goal that you delayed this week, you can type it in the chat box or unmute yourself and tell me. Okay, Priyanka says syllabus. Can we say study? Okay, study. Coming to a decision. Okay, Abhinav Singh says study. Ajit Kumar says my wellness. Okay, okay. Anyone else? So, thank you everyone for sharing. So, I hope this came to your awareness that what goals did you delay? But now the question is, what experience or feeling did you miss out by choosing to scroll? What would be that feeling of achieving that goal might be that you missed out when you chose scrolling? Satisfaction, right? Anyone else? Feeling of relief, the feeling of relaxation I miss out. That's right. Confidence to be nearer to my goal. See, anyone else who says satisfaction and relief of completing my work on time, feel loneliness. Okay, so you wanted to overcome the feeling of loneliness, right? Stress could have been less. See, that's right. So you can observe yourself that what you have been missing out on things, how you missed your goal, and the feelings that could have been really, uh, you know, uh, this valuable feelings you missed out on just by choosing to scroll. So now, thank you everyone for sharing again. Now, I would like you to move on to as this by this understanding, taking upon action. What I see is really important right now. How many of you agree? Give me a quick thumbs up if you agree with me that uh, here we need to take an action. That's nice. I'm happy that you all are motivated right now to just go to the actions. So before that, uh, let's take a small break. Okay, so this break is just like on YouTube. If it's free, there's an ad, grab some popcorn and enjoy this presentation on the benefits of one-on-one counseling with MindTribe. So what is counseling? One-on-one counseling. So one-on-one counseling is personalized confidential sessions between a client and a trained therapist. We look for personal growth, there's a problem solving and goal setting. So, counseling misconception. Counseling is only for those who are sick. How many of you think that way? Give me thumbs up or thumbs down if you think counseling is only for people who are sick. See, you know that counseling is for anyone who wants to be their best versions. So, who wants better friendships, relationship, academic success, career achievements. It's for everyone. And why choose MindTribe Counseling? So we have highly talented counselors, affordable charges ranging from 800 to 2,400, minimal investment of 449, and affordable packages as well. So, do you have any urgent question? Feel free to ask. And if you want, I will be sharing much more in the group about myself if you want to book a session. So, if you have any urgent questions, if not, then we can move on. Okay, I assume that no one has any question. Let's move on. Okay. Abhinav, I would okay. There is no specific plan for students. Uh, it's just the first initial packages for 449 if you want to book the session. Okay. So, moving on to the action strategies. So, the goal here is to move from awareness, what we have discussed until now, to actionable habit change. So, there are two strategies here. First strategy is to interrupt the autopilot mode, is that breaking the scrolling habit, which we do unconsciously. And strategies two is that setting up the high impact boundaries and design to focus. So, first strategy is interrupting about that autopilot. Here, the solution is to create a friction between the conscious thought before you pick up the phone and start scrolling. So, there are total three tactics, that is 5-second pause, digital friction, and physical friction. So, now we move on to the 5-second pause. So, the rule here is that whenever you pick up the phone to scroll or do something, take a 5 second of pause. Ask yourself, what are your clear intention of opening this app right now? Or maybe what feeling you are avoiding? Is it, are you bored or are you anxious? Or what's the reason you are picking up the phone right now? Is it you want to answer, reply back to someone? And if there is no clear answer, I just want you to close your phone, lock your phone immediately. So, this will bring more conscious use of your mobiles so that you scroll less. So, this is one technique you can use. The other is the digital friction. So, some Android devices have this mode of grayscale where you can, black and white the screen. So, how this helps, I will tell you, is that our mind works for like it is very attracted towards colors. Okay, so we reach out to the app based on the color. We remember the apps not by the names particularly, we click on them by the color. So when it's change to black and white, what our brain cannot identify it, and many times we lose the interest of scrolling. So okay, so Riddhi says it's very stupid of me how big of an impact of my one decision of scrolling makes. I feel like I need to use 100% of daily data quota in order to fill my recharge. Money isn't wasted. That's why I don't recharge my phone, but it's not possible to completely avoid it. First of all, Riddhi, it's not good that you say yourself stupid. It's not what it is. As we have discussed and seen that this it's not completely your fault. The things, the websites are designed by professionals for you to spend more time scrolling. And now that you are completely aware that how your one decision of scrolling is affecting any other field, so I would like you to take this actions, consider these actions, and I am very hopeful that this might help you. So Abhinav says, I have observed that more I give self time to think whenever I should scroll or not, the more the chances gets. That's completely okay. I understand how tricky it might get sometimes, Abhinav. So my ads get totally empty from inside. Okay, so we will discuss these questions at the end because we have less time. We can complete this and discuss at the end of the session. Is that works? Okay, so now we move on to the app blurring. Is that moving all the time wasting apps into a folder onto a third page of your home screen? So when we don't want specific apps which is time wasting when we scroll, it's more like we shift this apps to the last page or remove it from the home screen, so it will increase our step to reach that particular app, and this might also reduce the number of time we open the specific app. So next we come to the physical friction. So the rule here is to make the phone inconvenient to access. So now I completely understand that it's very difficult for you to keep your phone away from you. But when there is a need for you to study, right? When you there is a need for you to study or to have a focus for a certain amount of time, what you can do is keep your phone away from you where you can't reach or out of your sight. Maybe if you are in your living room, you can keep your phone in your bedroom, or if you are in bedroom, you can keep your phone in somewhere, some other part of your place, so that you can completely concentrate on what the thing you are doing at that moment of time, and once it's done you can reach out to the your phone. So the goal is to interrupt the unconscious habit by adding a small physical barrier. Okay, so next we move on to the strategy to set high impact boundaries. So relying on the willpower is like losing a battle. We can't rely on willpower every time. The solution is to design your environment to make distractions difficult. So many a time, a small change in an environment will also help you to reduce the distraction. So we will discuss uh, is the first 30 and the last 30 minutes rule. So once we get up from our bed or we go for a bed at night, so the 30 minutes before waking up and before going to sleep, you will not scroll. Okay, you won't see your phone. What you will do is, when you get up in the morning, it's okay, you check your time. If you don't have an alarm clock, you check your time, and that's it. You won't scroll your mobile, you will keep the phone there, and you will do your work. You will get fresh, you will brush your teeth and do your breakfast and get ready for your uh, college, school, uh, job, anywhere you want to go. And you will and once you get ready and once you have your breakfast, and you will see check your phone after that. So you can make this as a rule for yourself. This if this can bring you back to your disciplines. And before going back to bed as well, that just for an example, if you go by to bed by 10 o'clock, so by 9:30 you won't use your phone, you will keep that aside. And what you can do in that amount of time is that you can do some relaxation activities, or read a book, or you can even talk to your family, um, you know uh, which might also being getting affected by your scrolling. So you could do that instead. The next is the charging zone rest. So what I prefer is that you designate a charging zone outside the bedroom. So I know it's difficult for many of us to keep your phone charging outside the bedroom, but let me explain you how it's important. Okay, so when you keep your phone outside the bedroom, your uh, bedroom becomes a space where you come to rest, not for any entertainment purpose, but just to rest, build the connection, and not only do the consumption of the entertainment, right? So also you might know how harmful the radiation is. So this will also avoid the radiation risk factor as well if you keep your phone outside your bedroom for charging at night. So the next is replace scrolling with rewarding routines. Okay, so here I want you all that pick up a habit, not a habit, pick up a hobby would you would like. Um, so you know, um, which is very simple to do. A hobby that is, you like, you love it to do. That is your favorite pastime thing can be. So these habits are replaced, or these hobbies are replaced by the time you use your phone, right? So this is high quality replacement, which really takes low effort. Okay, so whenever you get the urge to use your phone, scroll, what you can do is switch on to the uh, habit or a hobby, such as reading, connecting to a friend, maybe, or doing something you like. I hope that everyone have certain hobbies, small it can be, so that you can replace it with them. Many people have a hobby of, uh, you know, uh, when they are not feeling right, they start to declutter their wardrobe, or someone like to cook or bake anything. So these hobbies can be replaced by scrolling. So yeah, here I want everyone to commit as we come to the end of the workshop. So pick up any one specific measurable habit you want to implement for the next 48 hours. I'm not saying much, but it's just for the next 48 hours. So rule is to make it so small and specific you cannot fail. You can mention it, what habit you would like to pick up today for the next 48 hours from for your scrolling thing. Priyanka says reading a book. That's really nice. Anyone else? I understand Riddhi does how uh, you know uh, getting distance from your hobby you're obsessed with can feel like and now you have the time. You can pick that as a commitment that whenever you feel the urge to scroll, you can go back to the hobby. Sarah says cooking or baking. That's really creative. I say resting. I understand that's really important to rest. You know how when we get really less amount of time. Ajit says involving in mindfulness. Can you be specific about how you can involve in mindfulness so that other people also can use or do that? Ajit, anyone else wants to share stress-free activity? That's nice. Rajita says, I will do speak with someone around me. See, that's how this will help you build more connection or strong bonds with the people you already know. Payal says, deep breathing. That's nice. That actually helps you bring your mind to a very calm state. Okay, so as now everyone has said this, I hope that you get motivation from the next activity, what we are gonna do. This activity is really good. I hope that you will like it. So, this is the visualization activity. I want everyone. Okay, Priyanka says I used this method earlier and it really helped, but again it started scrolling. I understand how it can be, but the trick here is to be constant no matter how much urge you get. And I hope now what we're gonna do next in the activity will help gain more motivation. So let's begin. We will answer the questions later once we do this activity. So now I want everyone to sit back comfortably and let your body settle in. Just sit back. There's no need to reply to anything. Just be there. If you're comfortable, allow your eyes to close. Take a small, slow breathe in, and now exhale from your mouth, letting it go out. Every stress in your body, let them go out. Take a slow breathe in and breathe out. Again, take a slow deep breath in and let it out from your mouth. Let go of all the stress you have been holding today. Now imagine your mind as a room. This room belongs only to you. Over time, notifications, voices, images, and scrolling have walked into this room quietly without asking. So the room isn't messy, it's just crowded with all these people coming inside. Now imagine opening a small window in this room. Fresh air comes in. With each breath, imagine gently guiding a few distractions out, not angrily, not forcefully, just calmly. One breath, one step of space. In the center of the room, notice something that was always there for you. Your thoughts, your breath, your attention, uninterrupted. Now imagine picking up your phone and placing it outside the room. It's not forever, just for now. The door remains open. You are in control of when to invite it back in. Notice how the room feels now. A little quieter, a little clearer, a little more yours. Now take a deep breath in and exhale. Again, take a deep breath in, exhale. When you are ready, gently open your eyes. Remember, you don't need to disconnect from the world. You just need to stop disconnecting from yourselves. If you are ready to move on, give me a quick thumbs up so that I know I can go ahead. Okay. Thank you all for participating actively. So, yeah, now I'm open for questions. You can type it in the chat box how you feel right now, anything you want to discuss. Zero scrolling should be adopted. I am not clear what you mean. Meenakshi, can you elaborate more? That's nice. I'm happy that you're feeling good, Priyanka. No scrolling. Yes, you can adopt it if you are comfortable with it. That okay. So Rajita says how to stay connected to ground. Okay, so there are few activities you could do, which are known as mindfulness. You can do it because that will make you feel a bit calmer, and staying connected to ground in sense being aware of things happening around you. So there are few activities you can do, such as breathing exercises, um, or guided meditation, part of which I did just now. You can do that as well. Rajita, okay, the Vijay Priya Dveja Priya says, I request to MindTribe team to mention the visualization technique in the chat or in the WhatsApp group. It would be of the great convenience. Okay, I will look to it, Vijay Priya. Thank you so much. Sarah Pangura says, how about setting time for 10 minutes of scrolling and once it's done, closing it strictly on time? So, Sarah, it might work for few. If it works for you, it's really great. But many times, what happens is that setting a timer, but still we have this urge, uh, just one scroll more, or we could scroll just five more reels I would watch, and I will switch off the phone after that. But this never actually happens, and we keep on scrolling uh, until the time we realize that we have spent more of the time. So many times it really doesn't works like that. Ajit says tolerance and satisfaction activity. Yes. So Rajita says any affirmations, please meditation. I will start from now on. So for now, as of now, I don't have much of that affirmations in hand, but you can really look on Google. There is many great activities you could really do for grounding techniques. And we can you please go through the last few slides, the strategy ones? Okay, sure, for sure. Okay, tell me which slide you want, Kanvi, specifically. Okay, Priyanka says I scroll YouTube, so I disabled YouTube, but I'm so addicted that I open it through Google. I hide my Google, but I still scroll. I can totally understand you, Priyanka, that how difficult it is to just stop scrolling, but what I can say is that you can be mindful about how much time you spend on scrolling. What you can do is that you can just disabling YouTube is not uh, working for you. So what you can do is you can set a particular amount of time, or time as in that you will scroll at something like 5 p.m. You won't scroll before that. So at 5 p.m. when your work is done, only after that you will be opening YouTube. But before that, if you have no important work, like nothing important to search on YouTube, you won't open that. If I hope this might help you. And you also can use this 5-second pause technique as well. So Kanvi says from okay. So Dipali says, can you please go to the okay, I will sure go back to it as well. I watch YouTube videos on study topic. After it ends, I begin scrolling. I completely agree, Yachika. This happens many a times. So what you can do here is like once you are complete with your YouTube video, you can have a 5 minutes of break. So in that 5 minutes of break, you can scroll or do whatever stuff you like. But once that 5 minutes is over, you will go back again to that. Uh, you will go back again to the study routine. Um so it can be like 25 minutes of study session. It might be on YouTube or just from books. And after 25 minutes you will give yourself a 5 minutes of break, and after that 5 minutes of break you will go again back to 25 minutes of study time. So you can manage it, your habit, by that as well. Abhinav Singh says that replacing technique is really effective. I have habit of scrolling before going to sleep, and reading book doesn't work for me because my dopamine requirement is too much for it. So what I did is I collected 10 inspirational movies, and every night instead of scrolling, I watch the movie. And it does affect my sleep, but it's way better than scrolling, and there is an sense of satisfaction before sleep that I chose not to scroll. Okay, Abhinav, I would suggest you that also watching movies for the late night is not good, as it also you know, have this blue radiation, blue light coming out. So what I would suggest is, if you could have some incense sticks or some candles, it would really be good for you before you go to sleep, like creating a calming environment. And if you have someone in your family you can talk to at night, you can discuss your day with them. This might really help your body to calm. Or if uh, also, if you like the visualization activity we just did at the end, you could also search it on YouTube. There are many visualization technique audios over there, so you could just listen to any one before going back to sleep. It would really help you. uh, yeah, also the journaling might also help you. It will also give you the dopamine which you want. Yeah, so I hope we have answered all the questions. If you have anything else, okay, I will go back to the AI thing. Okay, so did you want this slide, Dipali Gupta? This one? Okay, the next one. Okay. Anyone else wants any doubts? If not, then we will get forward to end the session. Yes, Abhinav, what you want?
I actually want to know that after sometimes, if I have left my scrolling addiction, then after few months I get back again to that addiction. It's like I forgot what happened to the past and get back to where I was before. So
Okay.
how can I maintain that thing?
Okay. So as you go back, I want you to uh, get aware of the situation, um, which is triggering to the scrolling. You know what you are trying to avoid, or what is the cause which you go back to scrolling. So, is there any particular thing you try to avoid, or it's just boredom or something?
It's mainly due to procrastination. Like if I have to do some assignment, so it's yeah, triggers that thing.
Okay. So, I understand like how, uh, tricky it is to go like stop scrolling, and when you really want to do that but still you are not able to control your habit of scrolling. So as I mentioned earlier, what you can do is, uh, as it's not uh, completely logical to avoid phone as well. Like you cannot completely, because we live in a digital world, there is something we need to know every time, and that's what we scroll for. So what you can do is, you can have small short goals maintained, that it needs to be done, and once it's done you can scroll how much ever you want. But first you will do that particular, uh, you know if you want to complete your assignment, So first you will do it, and you won't do it completely all together. You will do it bit by bit. So you will do first 25% today, and then you will take a small break and scroll. And once you are satisfied with the scrolling, you will go back to your project or assignment, complete it for the next 25%. Okay, so now your 50% of work is done. So this will also help you to reduce your guilt of you spend time on scrolling. And also on other hand, you will also complete your um, assignments on time as well, because completing the whole assignment together, many people have this habit of completing it all together, and this really stress them out, and this also can turn into burnout or something. So to avoid that, we will do is just do it in small bits and pieces, and give ourselves a proper rest. And in that rest time you can also scroll, but for a particular time being. Does that works for you?
Yeah, I will try.
Okay, sure, that's perfect. If you need to, if you need more help on that, you can also reach out to me. We can really work on that as well. So if anyone has any other questions, if not, then we can move forward to end the session for today. Thank you so much. I'm really glad that this might, whatever we talked in this workshop, might be of any help to you. Thank you.